Okay, so let's start on page Tov Mem Zayin, which is a new subject. I don't think we started this, but anyway, Seder HaZivugim and Na'asa B'Tefillas Hayom. So the different Yehudim we have during the daytime. B'divrich Rab B'Shar Hakavanot. Yeshnam Kama B'Kama Shemuos B'Inyan HaZivugim and Na'asa B'Tefillas B'Makom Echad. He said, what does that mean? Mavur. The B'Shakris Na'afa Zivug B'Kelim P'nimim B'B'Midcha B'Kelim M'Sa'im B'Arvis B'Kitzonim. Now, we don't have a problem with that. B'Makom Sheni, another place it says like this, B'Vura B'Chiluk Acher Beina Tefilos. He says, B'Shakris Na'asa Zivug Panim B'Panim B'Mincha Arvis Zivug Ach B'Mincha and Arvis, you have a Zivug Ach B'Ach. So only in the morning do you have the Zivug Panim B'Panim. We're hearing a lot of different things. Now, looking at it in the third place, he says, there's a third differentiation between them. One second, let me close the door here. Okay, back again. So if you look at the Siduri Ashkenazim, Nectar of Kishmur Shlishis and Ikaris, which means what? Shebeshakris Naasa Zivug the Yaakov Arachel of Micha Zivug the Yisrach of Aleach of Arvis the Yaakov Aleach. So Achain, his Kiro Gam Shal Milvad Zen Naasa Zivug the Ach the Zav Arachel. Not only that, but it also has that Zah makes a yichud with Rachel. So let me see, try to keep track of this. So going to the next column, it says, Achain, therefore, a Rishash in the Nar Shalom, he says, Siddur kol hashmuos al mochonom, sheyisyatcha b'zecha b'zecha v'oida b'devoravchu, sheyeshnam kama zivugim ana'asa b'tefilos Elohim, that there are a whole bunch of different kinds of Yehudim that take place. Now, let me see, where is the Aleph? I thought I saw it a minute ago. Here's the Aleph. So I guess it's a reference to the Nar Shalom. Let's see what he says. Number Aleph down below says that in the Rishash Sham, Lo Mefurish the head Yechaseda Beprathas the Gabe Arvis, Barak the Gabe Mencha. So he doesn't say the actual text, I guess, of the Rishash doesn't include Mincha. Arvis. Only Mincha. Amnam, Amafarshim, that's Tzedek V'Shalom, Tzedek V'Nayare, Bekenyan Paris, apparently there's a sefer by that name. He's Echabiruch, Apapib, Zecha, B'Chasedet, Tefilas Arvis, Bekelim, Kitzonim, but they add on that is referring to that as well. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more. He says, Zivug Aleph. So let's take the first one. Zivug de Yaakov Arachel Panim Bepanim. Yaakov and Rachel Kolula B'Shlosha Kalim. So Yaakov and Rachel have three different Kalim. Penimi Emsoi V'Chitzon. Ubakal Tefillah Na'asa Zivug Be'echa Mecha Kalim Alalu. So in other words, you're just doing one thing, one element, but it says Na'asa Zivug Be'echa Mecha Kalim, but Tefilas Arvis. So we'll start with nighttime. Misaknim Ma'amshichin Mochin L'Kalim Kitzonim De Yaakov Arachel. He said, and there you're going to have a yichud that's going to take place between you, like piling on all different kinds of things at one spot. He said, the Caleb Kitzoni, the Yaakov Arachel, the Bechem Na'asa Zivug, that's at nighttime. But the Fila Shakris, Besakdim, Mamshichem, Mochin, the Caleb Penimim, the Yaakov Arachel. So you're bringing Pelem into the Shefa, into these different aspects. The Yaakov Arachel, the Bechem Na'asa Zivug, and from them, that's where the yichud takes place. But the feed is mincha b'saktim b'mamshichem mochin l'kelim emsa'im v'Yaakov Arachel v'bechem na'asa chazivug. B'sever chazivug shaver b'kol shlosha tefillah. So the seder is the same in every tefillah. What does he mean? v'seder hazivugim shava b'kol ha'shlosha tefilos, ala sheb'kol tefilo hu na'asa b'kelim mecherim de Yaakov v'Rachel kol more. So it says the Yehudim are the same, but it's talking about the shefa coming into a different aspect. There's a number based on this, and with a little barichas, and we'll take a look at it. Gemara calls tefilim mistalgim amochim. Then whenever the mochim leave, the nishar rak rishimo shalachem, and all that's left over is an impression that they were there. So let's look at number bet down below, and let's see what is he talking about. Number bet went on the phrase Avachasha b'kol tefilim na'asa b'kelim mecherim de Yaakov v'Rachel kol more. Now this is the Shemin Sason in the Pesach Hanayim. He says Nistafek al pi zeh. The Hinach B'Siddur Nirshim B'Chush Shlosha Shemas. Now in the Siddur of the Rishash, I guess I'm assuming that what he means is that you always see the Kalim in three different. There's three Kalim, whatever it's mentioned. You get a drink here. It always shows you these three Kalim. Because Svira the Zer Anpin v'chein denuk. So in other words, so when you go through the Zer Anpin, or you look, say, the Vok, Zer Anpin, for example, everything's coming into there, you would have three Kalim. It's always be like that. V'shlosha shemos hem keneged kli pnimi and soy and chitzoni. Let me turn the page here. So that's what this is all about. V'chitzon. Beam Kain, if that's the case, the Derek of Rishash and his boyer Adas, and now the way we're explaining the Rishash, Tzarech l'choyve the Kavod b'shakris rock as the shame the Kli HaPanimi the call the Sphera. So what does that mean? It's just showing you three of them, Pnimi, Emsa, and Chitzon. So he says, for particular, he says that Tzarech l'choyve the Kavod b'shakris rock as the shame the Kli HaPanimi, they call Svira. Of a mincha, rock as the shame the Kli HaMesoy. In other words, he shows you all three, but all three are not getting the shefa, only one aspect of the three. Of a Tefillas Arvis, rock as the shame the Kli HaChitzon. But the Derek Zeh, Zu, so this way, Nifarish, the Masha Nirsham B'Siddur, what we have over here in the Siddur, the Tefillas Chakras, for example, called Shlosha Shemba, but called Svira, who Kadesh Nira the Neged Enenu, so we should be able to see as called the Shlosha HaKalim. But it's not to tell you that it's going to every single one of those Kalims, according to Shem and Sazam. Veneda, so Sha'antach B'Ana B'Saklim, rock as the Kalim B'Benimim, so I understand that when you're in chakras, you're only going to be looking at that particular one. So it's a little bit of shining a little bit of light into the Rishash. Shema, so he says that's one idea. Shema ne'emet shekol echa b'shlosha hakeda hanisaktim b'shlosha tefilos kolo b'shlosha b'chinas kelim b'prati. So each one of them, so you're supposed to be looking at those three names, which, like Rabbi Memram says, don't ask why, but there they are. And he says that if you just concentrate on, say, like on the first one, like for chakras time, but inside of that is going to be three, they're going to be looked just like these. That's what he said. The Hailish of chakras, Shatikonu, who bekele bebenimim, Hakavanot of a kuma shlishi shlema would be on a complete column. Shall shlosha kalim shall the gabi called klalas the kuma of panimius. So that is the panimi of them, the first one of them, I guess, has within it the other two, or the other three. You could look at it as panimi, and then there's a panimi, an emsa, and a hitzon of the panimi. They have three different kalim, Benimi, Emsoy, V'chitzon. So he just said what I try to paraphrase. V'yesh the kavan the hamshachal the shloshtam b'shachris. So you have to have a kavana for the fact that you're doing all of these three. Only you're dealing. The kavana is you're dealing with panimi, and the panimi has all these three in it also. Then the milcha. So he says Masha Nirsham B'Siddur B'Klit B'Kol Tefillah. Shlosha Hashemas Akalim. Then he said, V'chayare, he said, V'kasa B'Pshitos, Kachatzad L'Sheini Chaniska, so he goes like the second way that we said it here, the Kol Kli Kol B'Shloshtam, he likes that idea. And you see this in a lot of different places. So here's a kavanah if you're using the Rushash, to understand what those names of the Kalim. So he's pointing us at those Kalim. I think we're now on page Tov Mem Ches, and we're going to read at the top and see what it says. He says, Zivug Beis. Now this is a second yichud that takes place. It's a Zivug Ach Ba'ach L'Kliram Penimi. So he says, what is this? It's a Ach Ta'ach Penimi. So we're talking about the Kliya Penimi. V'Davidas Mincha V'Arvis, Milvad Hamochen Imshachim Oz L'Kelim Emse'iyim, because we say the and the Chitzonim respectively in Arvis. Chosra Devocha B'Mochim Af L'Kelim Penimims, but the Shefa comes into the Kelim Penimium as well. V'Heim HaMochen Should Nikdusuchu B'Chem Kvar B'Tefillah Shachris, though they left a Rishimba behind, he said. V'Nistalku La'achar Tefillah, and they left after the Tefillah. So they come back at a second time. So the shefa that's going to that's destined for the Penimius is coming back again at Mincha and Marav. And then they leave after Mincha. So the third time they come back in Arav. It's not getting a little confusing. So let's look at, just read it down one more time a little bit. He says, where would I start? So up at the top, so let's look at this little number of Gimel here, if it helps us. Those mochim, Haim ha-mochen de godless, they're the mochen de godless, that's what it leaves. V'nisharim rak ha-mochen de katnas, and what happens is they leave behind only the mochen de katnas, so those are like the functioning, I think it means to say the functioning mochen. So he said, ubetefidus mincha, when you come to mincha, v'arvis, chosen the masha, chedem mecha-mochen de godless, so as we're going to see as we go along, some more is going to come out. So he says, and let's go back up to the top again, and let's read over to number Daled. So he says on number Daled, he says, Va'ata, heim chozem v'nim shachem b'mincha sheni, so now they're coming back a second time at mincha time. And mistalkim shuv la'achar mincha, they're going to leave v'chozem v'nim shachem b'shlishis ba'arvis, and they come back a third time. So he's saying a couple of things that are, have to go together. Is that not only are you in a different place, you're dealing with a different set of kalim that you're going to bring shefa to, but you're also bringing shefa into the original. I guess that's what it means. The original. Let's see what he says in number Daled. Number Daled says, Nimsa Shabbatafidus Arvis. Let's take that one. He says, Azai HaMochan Nimshachan L'Kedah Mitzonim Heim Shel Yaakov Arachel. So you're going to have this Yaakov Arachel, that's the yichud for the morning, is going to come in here, the Hayom Chachodosh. Now, let me read it again so I don't get too confused, he says. Because I'm thinking that what he means is that at nighttime it's a new day. Nimsa Shabbatafidus Arvis, Azai HaMochan and Nimshach and the Kedah Mitzodim Heim Shel Yaakov Arachel. So it's good. The Yaakov and Rachel are that is, which the original yichud, of Penimius, the Hayom HaChodosh, into the new name, so it's starting out again. Of a Chazaras HaMochan the Kedah B'Penimim Heim the Yaakov Arachel the Yom Ta'akodim, and so but the Mochan that are coming in is what's left over from Shachris and Milcha that is now coming into Marav, which is a new day. So let's see if that's understandable. I'm not 100% sure, and I don't think that I'm really able to understand this that well yet. So just trying to put them all together. There's a lot of moving parts. But because of the fact that you're getting this penimius, you're not getting the whole bunch of it. You're only getting that little starting part, which would be dealing with the chitzonius. It's interesting that the way he said that there. It sounds like at nighttime you get the chitzonius. Then you go around and until the morning you start penimius again. So So this is similar to what we're dealing with, the whole concept of things going layered. There are layered kavanos in davening. So he said, so let me read again. So the whole column doesn't come because you're only dealing with what? The very beginning. Shehem Hatzadi al Kolo Gar Vok. That is, the whole thing would be the tzaddik, the tzadi of the tzelem, which goes in, and it has all 10 spheros there. Also, you could look at it like this: V'lamed mem de yasus. Also, the lamed mem of yasus come in, yasus and tevuna. Ella nimshachin ke'ez rak chelik ba'mochim. So that's the whole case. The whole thing comes in chakras time, which would be the complete tzadi d'tzelem, which is the gar and the vok, which is the mochin, the godless. And also, at the same time, the lights, and the sort of the lights would be the lamed mem. You would be bringing all the makifim, the Yas Yisrael Sabbat Tavuna, El Shinim Shakik, Ez Rak Chelik Ma Mochin, but it's coming out now, just a portion of the Mochin. So what does that mean? I don't know. But the feed is Mincha. Now let's go to Mincha, he says. Now there's more, it's not complicated enough. Let's make it a little bit more tricky to understand it. And we'll just try to understand, I'm trying to understand all the different parts here. But the feed is mincha choysa in the boim rak mochin the vok the tavuna. So he says this fact. He says at mincha time, only the vok of tavuna comes in. The kevin shalo choser in the konas kol mochin. So it's only the vok of tavuna. Doesn't say the vok of Yisrael Saba. Just the vok of tavuna comes in. He said konas kol mochin. So therefore, the kevin shalo choser in the konas kol mochin. You can't do that because there's not enough mochin. You need all the mochin the godless. So therefore, you're going to bring in shefa. He's saying from the morning, from what you had in the morning, you're going to bring this kelim into the kelim panimium. But the yichud that takes place is only going to be on Zer Anpin and Leah. Rachel is out of the picture, but he doesn't say Yaakov anymore. He says Zer Anpin Aleah. I know that I've seen this before and trying to understand this yichud. It's above the chaz, I think. So this is something else to understand. He says, I think I'm probably going to read it again. He wants to say that in relationship to the yichud of Yaakov and Rachel, which is really penimistic or yichud, he says this is considered to be ach ba'ach, even though that it's a yichud. But if you compare the nature of it, and he's not really getting into what the nature of it is exactly, it's actually going to be a lesser yichud, so it's going to be relative to the shachristika one. So Haklap is zivug Yaakov Rachel and Nikra Panim Bepanim. So relatively speaking, could be a yichud Panim Bepanim, but it looks like, or we consider it to be ach ba'ach. One more time, I read it one more time. He said, "But the feed is mincha chosrin bebayim rak hamochim devok the tefuna." That's all the female side. That's all you're getting is her vok. So that's mincha. But so this is the whole part. You're not getting the gar and the vok of both Yisrael Sabbat Tavuni. You're only getting this. So therefore, you don't have enough power here to make that yichud. So even though that little vav down here, let's just see what he says. That's a yara. He said, what does the yara say? He says in Sefer, I don't know, was it what we saw before? Chai Adam, Amud 764. I don't know that name. Okay, what'd you say?
Chelik Aleph.
Oh, Chelik Aleph. Okay, the Siddur Chelik Aleph Amud 764. Is this Siddur around somewhere? It has 764 pages. I could get this someplace. Okay.
I think in Hebrew books.
Hebrew books. Oh, okay. All right. Dehu na'asa b'sim shalom de mincha. Let me read again. Dasa yara, dehu na'asa b'sim shalom de mincha. That's where that yichud takes place, I guess he's talking about, of it's not Yaakov, it's Zer Anpin and Leah. B'sim shalom de mincha. Ve'elu dasa sadeh, he says in Shari Racham and Chelik Beis, Tshuva Reish Hey, he says, Dehu na'asa b'nefidus apayim de mincha. So there's an argument about when this yichud actually takes place of Zer Anpin and Leah. Well, let's go on, and I think it's not really getting to what I was looking for. So let's see if we could do it. Now going to the next page, he says, "Ubetefidus arvis chozrim lebecha baraka mochen devok de yasa." So now at Navis, so now you have yasas coming in, but only the vok of yasas. So chavakain vok the tevuna of the kede benimim, and also the vok of tevunim of tevuna, and that's what came in mincha time, and it's going into the kelim of penimium. Speaking the tzorach zivug de Yaakov Rachel, they don't have enough koach to be able to make that yichud. Zivug de Yaakov Leah, so therefore Leah is going to come into the picture. And that yichud is going to take place between the chaza and lamala of Zer Anpin. The zivug zecha begamku nikra zivug da'ach be'erik zivug de Yaakov Rachel. That's what it's also called. Let's look at number Zion. Zion down below. Here it is. V'chein ku b'shar Hakavanot. He said v'chein b'sidach hayare. He said the mashbech b'makom acher. So what is implied here in another place? Shir kumazach b'ku machachazu lamata, that as high as it gets is from the chest downwards of let's see, the chest downwards. Yashiv Asadas or Sadar in the Shari Rachamim again. He said the koi al Rachel. That's just talking about Rachel. Yulin Sham v'ayin od b'sidr kol Yaakov. He said the re couple. He said b'chakdama the defidus arvis, where he said Masha Kasav v'zechad the fidarko. What he wrote about this as he was going on. I'm not sure that I really understood that. So let's see. We have like very little time here. So let's read on, and we'll come back to it again. It's a little. What I was looking for was a little bit more. What I thought I understand, a little more complication. But let's go on. V'chol ha'amor chem hazivugim hayomim hanaasa b'tvilus. B'zos milvad hazivugim shecha b'parts of kadsha hakola. This is besides the fact that you have these each 3 different days in which these partsufim are going to be involved in the yichud of kadsha, sheniz boil in yon and the ale and siman base, and we explained that previously. And I'll try to look at this again and try to get. There's something I'm missing because I've been traveling, so I can't remember exactly what I've been doing. But we'll look at it a little bit more next time. So I'll see you later on.